After a long journey of being put on trial in the Supreme Courts of several states, following allegations involving the violation of human rights with varying severity, I was asked to do two things by a man with a strange blue robe. One, to have my pants find themselves back on my body, and two, to send a formal apology to the nearest kin of the victims of Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo. What the man with the blue robe doesn't know is that he has vastly overestimated my understanding of the word formal. The nature of my pantslessness during a courtroom proceeding should have been a dead giveaway, but I respect his request and will provide an apology to the victims of Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo. The only way I know how. Here goes. I'd like to start by saying thank you to those who were a part of the massive turnout for the grand opening of Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo. Especially given that the majority of the advertising was clips of animals boning to yakety sax. My heart certainly shined a little brighter seeing all those people there to take part in my dream coming true. I'm sorry that so many brave men and women had ventured forth into Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo, never to be seen or heard from again. Only a monster wouldn't start with the obvious, so I would like to apologize for the unnecessary risk that was put on many of the patrons of the park, namely by the death claws. It was beyond our knowledge that his bloodlust could be as insatiable as it turned out to be. I'm sorry that many of your loved ones were led to a bloody and gruesome death by our large stable of death claws. You see, the petting zoo part of Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo saw a need to up the cool factor when competing petting zoos brought along Brahmin. While visiting one of said competing petting zoos, the smug assholes at Finch Farm kept telling me, "Stop, don't do that, and please leave, this is not a petting zoo." But I knew they were lying to me to keep their monopoly on post-apocalyptic petting zoos. I wasn't having it, and decided that in order to set the bar as high as I could for all petting zoos, I made the bold choice to replace all animals with death claws. I even tried doing the thing the Finch Fox told me not to do to their Brahmin, but I was unable to find the udders. My condolences go out to those who, upon entering the petting zoo, had confusingly stumbled into Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic fight club, only to receive several stab wounds from the "I survived the fight club" pin being placed on their shirt. A lack of any meaningful barrier between the two was brought on due to budget constraints after the Deathclaw cages ran a hefty price. I'm sorry that the pumpkins used for the pumpkin patch portion of Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo were not actual pumpkins. Those who purchased them for the low price of 5,000 bottle caps quickly found out that the taste of their pies were not that of pumpkins, but of crayon wax, cardboard, and a mystery substance that my lawyers have explicitly instructed me not to disclose. The crude drawings resembling a pumpkin on the face of the cardboard were done by me, in case you were wondering, which you were. The resulting deaths of those who came in contact with the fake pumpkins were not my intention, nor was the explosive nature of the loss of life. I simply wanted to see them glow. It is in my deepest sincerity that I apologize for the lack of proper security and medical staff within Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo. My vision for the post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo was that of a new, wild frontier in wholesome family wasteland entertainment. I don't think anyone could have foreseen the events that transpired. I'm very sorry that those aboard the shuttle to Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo had to repeatedly reset the orientation of the shuttle after the driver's several failed attempts at ramping the fence into the pumpkin patch, despite the gate being open. I found out about the haphazardly built ramp at the same time many of you did, but it's my fault for not checking for ramps or ramp-like objects along the route to the park, and for not making sure the driver's blood alcohol content was within safe multiples of the legal limit. I'm also sorry that the brochures for Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo had stretched the reality of what it was really like to be there. The promise of backflipping mole rats was something we worked on for many months before abandoning the idea once the resident mole rat tamer had taken a heap of psycho following his work as Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo shuttle driver and torn a mole rat and several visitors directly in half. I'm also sorry for surviving visitors having to watch their fellow attendees succumb to brutal murder in more ways than they probably assumed would be available at Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo. We at Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic pumpkin patch and petting zoo are always concerned about the sustained safety of all those who enter, so we sent out our search team to find and put down any straggling deathclaws. The resemblance of your loved ones to a deathclaw must have been apparent as our team of professionals had opened fire on both. I don't see the resemblance myself, but that's why I'm not a professional deathclaw hunter. As a token of my sincerity, I have attached to the back of this apology a free voucher for a membership into Andrew's magical post-apocalyptic fight club. But be careful turning us over, we use recycled shuttle parts to make these, and many of the pieces are jagged and could be on fire. Go green.